Hello, everybody. How's everybody today? It is Monday. That's right. Freezing rain finally stopped. Giant chunks of ice off my car. Ugh, it was awful. Doors frozen shut. Ugh. Cheers, dears. Just ginger ale today, folks. Just ginger ale. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you like my videos, thumbs it up. Subscribe. Share. Tell your friends. Especially the ones you don't like. Send this to them. Might learn something. To all my hangers-on, you know you are close to my heart. You know. I appreciate each and every one of you and all the newcomers that come to my channel to stop by and see what's happening. So I want to talk about some stuff that Trump's on about. It's just, well, what isn't he on about, right? A little bit about the election in November and what his tariffs are doing. I'm going to do one state. This is just a for instance, okay? So here we go. The Republicans berated Democrats. They called them liars. They said they're mounting witch hunts like they're doing again with Elon and all the rest of the stuff, saying that they rigged the election, but they won. Pretty sure if they rigged the election, old Trumpty Dumpty there wouldn't be where he is. And they're saying because Kamala got 75 million votes, that means you won because you got 77 million. That means you won. But because he didn't win by a larger than a 1.2% margin or whatever, the election must have been rigged. So now he's going out there and he's going to try and strengthen and stiffen election laws because he thinks he's got all the courts in his pocket. He's got a couple, not all of them. So anyway, like even Putin or Kim Jong-un, even they did not get 100% of the votes. And you're pretty much ordered to vote for them in those countries. So now he says he's serious about running again. Sweet suffering Jesus. And apparently all the MAGAs are just fine with this. Everything was, oh, the Constitution. But now, kick the Constitution to the curb. Trump wants to be president again. Okay, I guess we're going to have to trash the Constitution. That's how they think. They're okay with it. He says there's a way he can do it. Because he will pressure his majority of both Congress and the Senate and a bunch of Supreme Court judges, and they will or would be willing to change the Constitution for him to please their dear leader. The menopause moose knuckle says he's not joking. Now, Steve Bannon says, term limits? We'll see. We're working on it. I guess he's working on it like somebody else will become president. They will have him as their vice president, and then they'll step aside so he can be president. J.D. Vance might be a hangers-on, right? Or well, he's not a hangers-on here, but he might be riding those coattails of Donald Trump. But you think if he's going to be president, he's going to have him tell J.D. Vance to step aside, I'm going to be president? Good luck with that, because J.D. is even more sinister, in my humble opinion. We'll see. We're working on it, says says Steve Bannon. Yeah. Term limits? We'll see. We're working on it. I think that's what they're working on. Or are they working on it just like Elon was working on it in Pennsylvania and Georgia and Nevada, Arizona, Michigan, North Carolina, and Wisconsin? Is that how he's working on it? Some dry. Can you see what's going to happen next with Elon? He's so free with his money, right? I can see Elon holding $1 million lotteries for all the congressmen and women and senators out there. Well, maybe not the women because the DEI and everything, right? He'll have a lottery suggesting that if you vote the right way and get in front of enough cameras often enough, you could win $1 million. And with enough Republicans in these state legislatures, which they think they're going to totally rule, especially in states that are primarily white, like Nebraska, then maybe they can get away with it. They already tried changing laws and stuff and gerrymandering and stuff, and the court said, no, you can't do that. But they're not going to listen to the courts anymore. Have you noticed? Trump won Nebraska by over 59% of the vote in the 2024 election. And now they're about to find out. For instance, they thought the Mango Moose Knuckles 2018 tariffs were so difficult and so hard, and they lost so much. Trump had to backtrack and bail them the hell out from the bullshit with China. These new tariffs, increased by another 10% on China, will significantly, and these are in quotes, significantly broaden the number of goods affected compared to his targeted approach in 2018, says the Progressive Farmer magazine's Todd Neely. And then former U.S. Republican Senator Ben Sasse from Nebraska says, hopefully the president is just blowing off steam again. But even if he is half serious, this is nuts. Trump said on Thursday, just Thursday past, that he will instruct his trade representative to consider slapping another $100 billion in tariffs on Chinese goods and escalating an even bigger trade war between the two countries. Sasse says, let's absolutely take on Chinese bad behavior, but with a plan this time that punishes them, not us. Trump don't give a shit about that. He wants to be the big tough guy and push people around. He don't care about you or your state. Now, Nebraska Representative Don Bacon tweeted that China is the single biggest export market for Nebraska farmers and accounts for $1.4 billion in agriculture commodities. With Trump adding another 25% tariffs on steel and 10% on aluminum, it will cripple the farm machinery industry as well. The Nebraska agriculture economy is the moneymaker for the whole state. The whole state. The Mango Moose Knuckle is sticking it to the farmers. And because these tariffs will seriously damage the entire state economy. It's going to tank it. The president of Nebraska's Farm Bureau, Steve Nelson, said tariffs on pork and soybeans alone have cost farmers hundreds of millions of dollars in lost value in agriculture markets at a time when they can least afford it. Did Trump give a shit? No. Yes, Steve, that's what he's going to do because Trump doesn't like anything more than pushing around the little guy and watching them squirm, watching them suffer. Open your friggin' eyes. That's where be woke comes into vogue. Be woke. Remember, once burned, twice shy. Remember that little saying? No, you don't, obviously, because over 60% of you folks decided that you would just vote your tormentor back in. Did you not get pushed into enough lockers by him? Did he not steal enough of your lunch money? You want him to come back and do worse? Now he's got a whole posse that's more than willing to mount up and ride in. Just saying. The Republicans don't care about you. Wake up. Well, it's kind of late now because you're stuck with that asshole for the next 4 years. The 2018 farm income fell to its lowest since another Republican, George W. Bush, was president in 2006. Obama built you up for 8 years to get everybody out of that recession. 8 years it took. Trump was in there, and within 6 months, he just slapped you down. He slapped you down in just 4 years. All that work that Obama put in to have you to have healthy markets around the world, no. Trump just said, screw you. Let's tariff China. Let's tariff all the people that import shit to your state. So Trump tore it all down. Then Biden comes around, builds you all back up, gives you subsidies and everything else for your farms, equipment, all that stuff to get you back on track. And what happened? Trump came in, and now he's watching you buckle. You are buckling at the knees and bending down further. Now, from the AG's update, Nebraska tax collections were already under immense pressure. With the state's reserve fund, it's almost non-existent for a state. It is now at a dangerously low level of just $275 million. Trump's got more than that in his pocket. That's all that's left in your state's reserve fund, because you got to keep helping out all these people when federal government should be helping you, because you are in the breadbasket. But he don't give a shit about you. I personally believe if this keeps up, and it's very possible the way these numbers are going, that with these tariffs, they're going to bankrupt the whole state of Nebraska. Going to bankrupt them. And you know what? Bankrupt? Now that's one thing that the mango moose knuckle is really good at. He knows how to do bankrupt. And he knows how to do it so well. So well. He has bankrupt every single thing he has touched. And now he's they sent out a letter to all the European countries and trading partners around the world and said, if you have anything in your companies that are going to deal with the United States, if you have anything in there that has anything to do with DEI, you're not trading with us. He sent that letter out. You won't trade with us. No DEI. None. No DEI. You're not trading with us. And he sent it to all the embassies throughout all Europe. So private companies don't have a say in how they run their companies. They don't have a say. So we'll see how that turns out. Anyway, 9 and loves you. Be good, be safe, please. Be good to you first so you can be good to somebody else. I love you. Mwah. And everybody, don't forget to subscribe. And the old mango moose knuckle up there, the old fart bag. Let's see what he's got to say today.
Excuse me, that was ISIS, not me.
It was more like Putin. But I noticed that my candle, every time he gets near the mango moose knuckle, it turns red. That's Satan burning his arse. That's what I'm thinking. But anyway, everybody take care of you first so you can look after somebody else. I love you all. Hangers on. Mwah. Thanks for hanging on. Take care. I love you.